Okay. Now, some of you may remember the case of those two girls that were sentenced in Jamaica. Well, found to be allegedly, supposedly, or seemingly smuggling contraband in trainers in Jamaica. It's now transpired that they've been sentenced. Okay? For those of you who have been on my TikTok page before it was shadow banned, will know that I've covered this extensively, as well as dropped some videos on here as well. But basically, simply put, we had the two girls, Taraya Stapleton and Geneva Sanusi, Taraya and Geneva, who were obviously, the two girls who were supposedly accused. And obviously, in the case of, I think it's Taraya's mum, is the one who's been online, Instagram, working with Elaine Payne, of all people, trying to get the message out there. So simply put, it's now transpired that the girls have been sentenced. The girls are now being sentenced, with reports indicating that both girls were sentenced to 9 months in prison and fined $1 million Jamaican dollars each, which is around supposedly £7,000. Okay, now that's the crux of the issue. Let's not forget they originally faced a potential of 6 years for these offences. Okay, now for those who don't know, do Google this story. They travelled to Jamaica for a vacation, funded by one of the boyfriends or an acquaintance, and they were arrested on their return journey. Okay, many things have been said. Some people believed that they were allegedly set up. This is the view of the supporters of the women, who presumed they were misled, as opposed to being intentionally carrying out this act. Simply, they were just mules to bring trainers back for a friend, and obviously the trainers had some kind of substance in them. Okay, and now it's obviously Taraya, not Geneva. Well, Taraya's mum is the one who's doing all the legwork now to get her daughter off at the time. I think last I saw, she was there posing with a Jamaican solicitor, some Jamaican guy. And apparently he wasn't even there. Allegedly, apparently he wasn't even there when the sentencing went down. So, and they're saying quite a few things. They're saying, from what I've read, they're saying that there wasn't a jury, the solicitor, the guy who she was posing with, he wasn't even there, and so forth and so forth. But the bottom line is, as it stands, 6-month sentence. 9 months, sorry. The 6-month thing was actually, the 6 months was actually put out there as well. But for what I'm reading here, it says here, reports indicate the women were sentenced to 9 months in prison and so forth. Okay? Now, it's interesting to see the reaction of all this. It's interesting to see the reaction, because some really good comments regarding this. Some really good comments. So let me just get in on that. And hit me with some of those comments. Because this is quite an interesting case. There are those that believe they did it intentionally, and there's those that believe they were fitted up. But ultimately, general consensus is they got a touch with 6 months. Here's a comment. 6 months for being caught with drugs in another country, they are very lucky. Just ride it out and take as a lesson learned. It could have been a far worse sentence. Boy, fair enough. They already spent years in Jamaica, so 6 months is the time they had left of their 3-year stretch. Okay, fair enough. Appealing a 6 months sentence for international drug smuggling, I'd have been thanking the judge instead. Rah. Interesting. It's quite an interesting one. I know they're looking to appeal the sentence. As someone says here, wouldn't appeal, sentence may triple. I'm not so sure about that. Here's an interesting one. I may get shot down for saying this. This one of them knew what the holiday was about. Nothing for free. Sorry to say, in Jamaica, I tell anyone I know, don't even bring a message back. It's daily young girls being offered a week of 5-star living, but comes at a cost. Maybe. If it was a Jamaican girl caught in inner England, he or she would be getting at least 10 to 15 years. That's probably true. And then deported straight back. Because they're not playing now over here. So, you know what I mean? They were not set up. They knew exactly what they were doing. There you go. Appeal 6 months. They're lucky to get that when people get years for this. I'm curious about the one who met a man and had a baby there. If she stay when she's done her time off, will she stay or, they can't, we don't write on this site. I'm curious about the one who met a man and had a baby there. If she stay when she's done her time or fly back to the UK. There you go. Let's not forget that. One of the girls got pregnant, I think the mum put up to that, Mum said, look, go and breed, and hopefully if you do, then they might let you stay at the house, stay with the man or some nonsense like that. These people think differently, They think differently, That's one thing I've observed, and the mum's a bit off. Anyway, do see my previous videos on this. I've addressed that in detail there, but the bottom line is now, with these two girls here, they're looking at a couple of months in Jamaica, and then, who knows, maybe back to the UK, and maybe write a story, write a book, and you all will be lapping that up. Do a little bashment film, write a book, and you all will be on that. I know you. But anyway, that is how it stands at the moment. So they're looking to appeal that month sentence, and we'll see how things transpire from there. All right then, later.